Seoul, South Korea. Today we're going to do a little something different. I'm going to talk about my second home, which is a really rad place. This nice peninsula that has a mix of modern culture and ancient history and some really cool people I'd call heroes of old. And we're going to talk about Yi Sun-sin, as well as all the cool places you might want to visit and see while you're here on your trip if you do decide to come. But yeah, just sit back and relax. We're going to draw, we're going to talk about Korea, and I'm just going to show you one of the coolest places on the earth. Let's begin. Oh, and if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. This is Inktology. Okay, found a cup under here. I don't know if they put them out or I'm supposed to know or bring my own, but whatever. Let's do ice. You want to do ice? We should do ice. Green tea. You got ice cafe mocha. That sounds good. Should I get ice here first? I have no idea.
결제하실 카드를 리더기에 삽입해 주세요. 고객님 컵이 나왔습니다.
Oh, they do give me a cup. Oh snap! I was wrong. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, ho, ho. The best part is that they have Wi-Fi and all these like amenities here. This is great. You know, legit. Hi everybody, my name is Joshua Lam. This is Inktology, welcome. Today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. As you can see, I'm in South Korea. No, actually, I'm not in South Korea now, but I'm just gonna be like talking about my experience through the footage and showing you my time there. It was kind of like this time where I can go and visit family as well as get some art stuff done, but also replan 2025 and how I'm going to approach it with the YouTube channel, how I'm teaching, things of that nature. And this is kind of part of it. I have a lot of travels that I go on. I enjoy everything about the food, the culture, the people, and everything. But one of the great aspects of it, and one of the things I really enjoy, is the museums and learning about their culture and religions and mythology that have these really cool characters, really interesting you know, like dynamics with the people today and how they think of these characters. And for South Korea, I have tons of those, but I chose a person who was actually in history, General Yi Sun-sin. He is this bad to the bone Korean general who he takes these turtle ships, which I'll show you. They look like turtle shells, and they've got these like spikes, and they got a dragon head on it, and they just go into battle and they just destroy the Japanese Navy multiple times. He's a undefeated champ, totally a guy that South Korea or Korea in general would admire and revere because he's so bad at the bone. And he has a great story to go with it too. But as I was there, I was like, man, I want to draw him and make a really cool t-shirt. So this is a t-shirt design for my website, which is up. It's called inktology.com. You can go there and check it out. I'm going to explain everything about Yi Sun-sin and his history while kind of showing my vlog of South Korea and what I did. It could be just fun to watch and be educated of South Korea. And I really thought it was really cool that foreigners and expats would come in and really partake in the culture. And I want to teach that to people watching this video. So if you're interested in South Korea and you want to know more, I'm going to go through a few of the ins and outs of South Korea and Seoul specifically that you might want to know or you enjoy, and some things you definitely need to know about Korea while I draw. So let's get started, okay? All right, let's talk about Yi Sun-sin. This guy's the ultimate underdog, and he's the guy who also took on an invading army with fewer ships than you have tabs open in your browser. And he's the Korean commander who also turned the tides for them and made history by doing so. But let's rewind to the year of 1545. He was born into a noble family, pretty cool, right? But except no one cared. Despite being a genius in martial arts and like really good at tests and everything else, Yi Sun-sin wasn't exactly fast-tracked to glory. Imagine being the kid in school who knows everything, but he's the one guy who gets picked last in dodgeball. That was Yi. But even early on, Yi showed signs of being different. He was strong, smart, and could shoot arrows like Legolas with a grudge. But like I said before, the government was not impressed. They were like, court politics in Joseon, Korea were basically Game of Thrones, but with more paperwork and less dragons. So despite passing the military exams, these promotions were slow, like molasses on a winter day slow. They just did not move. He couldn't get anywhere even though he was a boss. Sidetrack, you can see I'm drawing on the iPad, sketching over a sketch that I had done, and this is a great way to do it. But I also like drawing on paper, and I was able to finish this Rook Exodus comic book while I was there, at least the cover and the back of it, which is a really great comic book if you're willing to read comic books. But I just wanted to throw this in here just because I really enjoyed this project, and it helped me get my mind off of some of this drawing on Yi Sun-sin. It's also nice working in cafes because they always play K-pop, and if you know anything about Korea, you probably know K-pop. And I spent a good part of my life recording these guys and interviewing them and all this stuff. And you know what? K-pop is awesome, but you know, it can be a little draining on my soul. But fun to watch, that's for sure. You've probably heard of bands like BTS, Big Bang, Stray Kids, Sonia Shide, Girl Generation, and all these other amazing bands putting out amazing music. Their concerts will leave you deaf. So be careful if you do go to them. But they are very fun because that's some serious camaraderie. Unlike, you know, the camaraderie you would find in like a Korean drama such as Squid Games. And yeah, I feel you. And Yi Sun-sin feels you too. Part of the fun thing about hiking in Korea is that they make it very accessible for you to just enjoy all the nature in Seoul and Korea wherever you go. There's always a path, there's always stairs, there's instructions in English, there's bathrooms, there's cafes, I mean, you're never going to be stuck anywhere. And it's just gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. All year round, it's fantastic. And then they even allow this whole like walking against the wall of the gates of Seoul, which used to be old Hanyang, and highly recommend you venture out and see this part of it because it's like you get like a piece of, you know, peaceful adventure as well as education of the history. And Korea's history goes back all the way to like 8000 BC when they found the first pottery. But you can see all this beautiful ancient art and statues and stonework that they do. Koreans are like masters of just carving beautiful and uniquely artistic structures, from anywhere from their stonework to their monuments to their buildings. I mean, you'll see some of these colors and designs, and they're brilliant. And during Yi Sun-sin time, they were just creating some of the most beautiful pieces of naval ships, and I mean, honestly, everything from their temples to their palaces. And at that time, Japan was doing a similar thing. Toyotomi Hideyoshi, Japan's top warlord, who for some reason woke up one morning and said, let's conquer China, and on the way, let's just stop by Korea and, you know, like a drive-through and do the same. So in 1592, Japan invades with hundreds of thousands of troops, slicing their way through Korea like a katana through kimchi, and, you know, Yi is ready to battle. And they have their, you know, fortified fortresses and their walls and their temples. And look at this art. I mean, look at this beautiful structure at these Buddhist temples. I stopped by this one that was dedicated to a prostitute who became a monk. And you can see just art laying around just on the ground, and these beautiful statues that represent the beauty of someone giving up a past life and growing into something more peaceful. Look at this paintwork. I would love to live underneath this roof. Would you not? My gosh, that is so intricate and so perfectly done. And if you notice, there's no nails in half of this stuff because they are masters of just putting things together perfectly, letting it fit into place. That is the art of the Koreans. And if you have a chance, stop by these temples, you know, pay your respects. You can even do a temple stay for a week or a weekend and really enjoy peaceful living in something very selfless. And I highly recommend it. This one is located in Seoul, so there's plenty of them. You can check them out. And if you're traveling, you can always travel across this amazing city of Seoul through the train and the buses, but they have the shopping district, they have museums, and pretty much every stop that you come to at a subway stop, you're going to find something unique to that community and to that town. This little cute card here will get you anywhere. It's called a T-Money card. It's pretty much like a little debit card you charge, and it'll get you in the taxis, the trains, the buses, and even pay for food at, you know, most places. You hardly wait in line. There is rush hour, and you will be cramped in these things like a piece of spam in a container. But try to avoid those times, and you'll know what I mean once you get there. But it's all clean, it's always safe. Even at midnight, you'll see like a little kid in these little things because that's how safe Korea is. So don't worry at all. Just make sure you bring some sanitizer because, you know, people be touching stuff all the time. But enjoy the travel and the transportation of this country, which is the best. So you don't need a car ever. Okay, enough about transportation. Let's talk about Gwanghwamun, and specifically the turtle ship. This turtle ship is a design by Yi Sun-sin, and it's got spikes on top of it because they didn't want people boarding the thing. It's a covered deck, so you're pretty much not going to get in. It's got cannons all around it like a tank, and it's got a pretty terrifying dragon head in front that shoots smoke like an ancient fog machine kind of thing. I think it's just like to freak out the Japanese army. They're like, what is coming at us? Which is very cool. So Yi was like, bring your swords, cool. I brought the floating tank with a dragon breath. And because of this brilliant design, Yi's navy hit fast, dodged hard, and wrecked everything. Can you just imagine this ship? It's just a monster on water. Now with the paddles pretty much on all sides of it, it was able to rotate and turn, on the dime and just attack at any direction it needed to. There was literally no way the Japanese naval army could get away from this thing. So Yi, with just a handful of ships, like 12 or 13, took out hundreds of the Japanese navy. Oh, and yeah, if you ever want to learn Korean, King Sejong was the guy who created Korean because he's like, Chinese is too hard, Koreans need a simpler language. And this is a short version of it, but it's really easy to learn. You can actually learn to read and write this language within probably a day or a couple of hours as you pay attention, because it's very simplified and it's a beautiful language to learn. So highly recommend it. You might need it when you get there, a few words, but most people, they understand English enough, but learn a little bit of Korean and that'll go a long way with people treating you wonderfully. So over the next few years, Admiral Yi dismantled the Japanese fleet battle by battle. He knew the coastline like the back of his armor, and he used the currents, the tides, the terrain better than GPS. He didn't just win, he won brilliantly. Sometimes without losing a single ship. That's pretty crazy. His sailors probably had group therapy just to deal with how amazing he was, and the people of Korea, they loved him. But even though he had the country's love, like I said before, there's some jealous commanders out there who wanted to take him down. So for some whatever reason, they were just like, this guy's really popular and really effective and smart, so we better demote him and throw him in jail, so just in case. And that's exactly what they did. So yeah, all because of politics and jealousy and fake news, and we all know how that goes. He got stripped from his command and tortured. And here's a perfect representation of what they actually wore in that time period. From their royal court to their military, and you can even go here and see how the military dresses today and how they take a lot from North America and how they dress the military. But I totally prefer the old outfits better. I'm not sure that they would do so good in camouflage in war, but they looked cool. But guess what? While Yi was locked up, his replacement immediately lost the navy. They trusted the wrong guy. They had the right guy and threw it away. Anyways, at this point, Korea had one last chance, and it was totally straight-faced. The king goes, hey, Yi, so about the whole torture thing, want your job back? And he's like, sure. How many ships we got? And they're like, 13. He's like, cool, let's wreck them. So Yi with 13 ships, turtle ships, and Japan with over 300. That's not a battle. That's like a YouTube prank or something. That's the joke. That ain't gonna happen. And as you can see inside the ship, this is how they decorated. They had cannons on the inside. They had these decks right there where the soldiers would be rowing while they're loading the cannonballs into these cannons to just launch at every angle. And they had little parts where they would be able to sit down and write what's going on and document. Yi sets up his ships in the narrow of Myeongyang Strait, where the currents are very wild, like hold on to your underwear wild. And the Japanese charge in, get twisted up like spaghetti, and then Yi's ships just blast them. Boom, 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 done deal. Look at that. He knows what he's doing. He got it all planned out. Inevitably, Yi demolished all the Japanese ships, and they just ran away all scared and pouty. Now, when you come to Seoul, go to a place called Hongdae. Now this is where I used to live, and this is an amazing, youthful art little town, right? A part of the town. There's a university attached to it. Great food, great shopping, great people, great music. Just a fun place to go, and I highly recommend it. Quick tip, look up and look down. The stores are always up, and in the basements, the coolest stuff is in the basements. That's where you want to find neat stuff. Okay, so I'm in Hongdae right now. This is where I kind of spent most of my time in South Korea, Seoul, living here for years. And it's changed a lot. In fact, I'm trying to look for a darn comic book store that used to be here, but it's gone. It looks like they changed a lot. But you know, Hongdae is fun. It's the art central of Seoul, kind of. All the art students go to the Hongdae University here. I went there a lot. I knew some people there, but I can't seem to find this art school. You can see here there's stores everywhere, so I just gotta find the entrance. An underground one, but not really sure where to begin. Though I didn't find the comic book store, I did go back to my favorite art store, which is called Homi Hwabang, and it's very, very cool for like getting everything you need. I mean, from pins to clay to, I mean, literally everything you want is there, and it's affordable. Except for the art pads. For some reason, they're kind of pricey, but I think they're because they're imported from like Germany and these other countries. So if you're into art, definitely check out Hongdae and check out these stores. You're gonna find pretty much everything you need, and you're gonna love it. It's great. Pretty much anywhere in Korea, you're gonna find cute stuff. This is a great little section. Oh, hey, look, there's a Koshi one. That means a small, pretty much unlivable space for anybody who's too poor to have an actual apartment. That's where I lived. Yeah, it was great. I could touch all 4 walls with all my arms. That's how small it was. Or you can get a hotel, and I recommend this one. This place is clean, affordable, and has the best management out of anywhere else, the guest houses or hotels I've been in. Saunas, and they call it jjimjilbangs in Korea. I butchered that, but it doesn't matter. A sauna in Korea is really amazing because they're in every other little location, and they're really fun because they're huge. They have hot rooms, cold rooms, and every kind of room you can imagine, but they're fan-freaking-tastic to sleep in if you have no hotel or place to go to. So I'm gonna go to one. I'm gonna show you what it's like. I love them. They're the best. You have to get naked in front of a bunch of people, but it's okay. It's fine. Let's see what it's like. And here's an example of a sauna or a jjimjilbang that you can go to. You just walk in, go real confidently into the elevator. Don't worry, not gonna see me naked. No one wants to see that stuff. And you get in there, and they'll give you give them like $7 or $10. You get a key, you can wrap it around your wrist, a little locker for your shoes, and you walk in, and you'll get another locker to you put your clothes and all that stuff. But this is great. I don't know why they separate it, but it's great. And I think the best part is that you can stay there pretty much 24 hours, as long as you don't leave, right? And they give these little pads to sleep on. It doesn't look comfy. It looks like a brick, but you sleep hard because you sweat out all that salt. Definitely check it out. Recommend it. If you're a girl, go with a friend. You'll have fun. One thing you might have to get over are the restrooms. They're not pretty. And they usually don't have a toilet for some reason. They just expect you to squat. They might have a hole for you to squat in. You have to learn how to squat poo, but pissing in that thing and then pouring water in there to flush it, because most of these flushy things don't work, is pretty lame, and they smell bad. But this is Korea. You're in a different country, so you're gonna have to get over it. And yeah, not the cleanest, but you're only there for half a second or two, and then you get some fresh air and back to the beautiful Korea we love. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking the same thing. Good grief. How are you supposed to know? Anyways, outside of the bathroom, there's norebangs, there's karaoke rooms, which you definitely should check out. Very fun. Korea does a really cool job of recycling things, and recycling everything. Look how organized this is. America, we need to learn something from these people. They know how to do it right. And of course, there are cafes for everybody. And I mean everybody. Another thing is they show art everywhere, and this country is full of just young people living their lives. Look at this young couple, this military boy and this young girl. They're dating. I can imagine how their future's gonna go. There it is. Oh, she trips over a piece of air, and he catches her for some reason, and they're in love, but she hates him. Oh my God. See, he's done with it. He's over her. That's the story. Peace out. Okay, let's get back to Yi Sun-sin. All right, in 1598, the Japanese made one final retreat. Yi led the charge to drive them out. But in the middle of the Battle of Noryang, Yi Sun-sin was struck by a bullet. His nephew rushed to his side, but Yi, ever the boss, said, "The battle is at its height. "Do not let my death be known." And, you know, while he's bleeding out, and he keeps on blasting, and they got stuff finished. They did it. They rocked and rolled. By the time the war was over, they didn't even know that Yi Sun-sin died. I mean, that's how honorable this guy is. So when it comes to like superhero kind of characters, this guy is pretty much the top in history, I feel like, which I'm very happy that he's Korean. You know, there's a little pride in that for me. The man won the war even after dying, which is radical. And you can see here I'm adding the final touches to the background of this image by kind of changing the translucence and building like a little bit of an old school Korean art style. If you've ever seen any of the very big brush strokes and lots of textured paper, I want to give that effect to my t-shirt design here, so that way, you know, kind of represents Korea in many different facets of time. And today, Yi Sun-sin is remembered as one of the greatest admirals in world history. His statue stands tall in downtown Seoul, as you saw earlier, and his writings are studied by military leaders. I mean, his name is pretty sacred for Korea, and you can see why. With 13 ships and taking out over 300 of the Japanese Navy, you mean that? Well, come on. If any Navy or officer was tasked with that task, they would have failed. But not Yi, because he's been through hell and back, and he deserves the credit for being such a hero. Now, coming to the techniques that I'm using to draw, I'm adding texture to this. Now, not all this texture will be seen on a t-shirt because it's pretty fine and detailed, so I'm going to have to go in here and kind of stretch it out and make it a little bit larger. I'm adding these ropes to represent kind of the ropes that they used on the ship, adding cannons into this drawing, add all the small details I can to kind of make it feel like it represents Yi Sun-sin and the Korean culture as much as possible, as well as making some modern dragon face. See this? This is Lotte Tower. Don't go there. It is too tall and probably falling apart, but they also have a whale in there and they treat terribly, so don't support that stuff. Let's talk about the food, because that's the best part of Korea. Korea's food is glorious. You got street food, you got dine-in food. Look at that meat. It is beautiful, and when it's grilled, it tastes like a God's thumb. It's amazing. So definitely check out the barbecue, because that's the best. Their beer, phenomenal. Kimchi is a great thing, healthy for you too. And yeah, they give you all these side dishes. And when you eat, you just throw stuff on a piece of lettuce and shove it in your mouth and pray you don't choke. You do that, you'll be in good shape. Even though Korea's food service is amazing, there's no tipping, so you don't have to worry about that, which is really cool. And make sure you eat all the fish possible, because it is a sea culture and those things look weird. Sushi's great. You can also have things like the mudfish stew, which I'm a big fan of. Definitely check that out. And you can eat them alive or dead, I don't know. Both good. Okay, hey everybody. So I'm here at a restaurant eating something. It's called 인생이 담긴 순대국. It's 순대국. My wife loves this stuff. But I kind of wanted to do a little pause on the video and kind of explain Korean food etiquette, okay? A lot of my friends, when they go to Korean restaurants and barbecue and all this stuff, they see all these different dishes here, and they don't know where to begin or what to do with it. And if you're traveling to Korea and you're a foreigner or you've never eaten it and you're really confused what to do, I'm going to explain some things to make you feel better. Everything that's put on the table is a combination of how you want to eat it. Like what I would do is I would take a couple pieces of this, put it here, a couple pieces of this, put it here, and then take a little bit of this, dip it, put it on there, and then put the meat or whatever else I want, take the whole rice thing, put it in my mouth. So you don't have to be afraid of it, you just have to experiment. That's what it is. So when you go to a Korean restaurant, just be bold and just keep combining things. You'll be fine. Don't feel nervous about it. If you have lettuce is usually a wrap, kind of like a taco shell. So another 24-hour thing is the dog pet store, which is wild, and I wish America would do this, because our dog needs stuff all the time. But for them to do it, look for ours. You can just walk in, you can pay here, and you come in and you have every necessity you need for your pet and animal. And if you're wondering that if Korea is living in the future, that's because they are, just like Japan. They just know how to do everything better with technology, so definitely enjoy it. But also, a recommendation is go in there and be respectful to this country, be polite, don't be too loud, don't be a drunkard, and appreciate the culture for what it is.
It's a very sweet country, and the people are wonderful, so treat them with respect. And this is the conclusion of Yi Sun-sin, the most amazing naval commander to ever live. And as I finish up this drawing, leaving some small details to talk about the dragon and the water and stuff that I want on this t-shirt, I want to explain that South Korea is amazing, but North Korea is also pretty cool too. So if you get an opportunity to go to North Korea, there's some guided tours and some really cool like rice planting events and tours that you can do to help out the country. But it's not as scary as you think, because they definitely take care of the foreigners better than you would think. Definitely get the chance while you can. And that concludes Seoul, South Korea, and this drawing for Yi Sun-sin.
Yep, so that's it, guys. This is Yi Sun-sin, amazing general. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys for sticking through this vlog. Let me know what you think. If you've been to South Korea, let me know what you like and don't. And if you like K-pop, who's your favorite band? You know, I just want to explore with people who love this country and their art. Have you seen the South Korean artist, Kim Jong-yi? Amazing. He, rest in peace. Amazing Korean artist, as well as a lot of amazing Korean comic book artists are out there too. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. If you're creative, go create.